Story time. So around 2013, I got a DM in my Facebook from Prince Sean. He DM'd me and he said, yo, I read your book, No Way Out, and it changed my life. No Way Out is now called Street Obsession. He said, it changed my life. I just wanted you to know. So I had heard this same line, the same sentence, maybe literally 100 times from people, especially men who were incarcerated or formerly incarcerated. But for some reason, my spirit, my intuition told me not only reach out, but yo, where you at? So he responded, I'm in Connecticut. And I said that I was in New York and that let's link up. Because your network determines your net worth. If you have some social skills, then you know, hey, let's link. Eventually, we link. We meet, we sit down, we talk. I think we had a bite to eat or something, right? So we sat down, we talked. And it is very rare that you meet a creative who has a sharp mind and the ability to give you brilliant thoughts. It's hard. I had an older son, he's brilliant like that. He just comes up with stuff, right? So Sean reminded me of the same energy where he's just coming up. So eventually I started kind of mentoring him and he ended up pouring into me just as much as I was pouring into him. We formed a brotherhood and we kept talking. He came up and he said to me, I'm working on a sneaker box. So I was so lost because I was removed from society for 2 decades. I didn't know what he was talking about. So he was like, a sneaker box. I was like, what do you mean a sneaker box? He's like, yeah, it's a box that you put your sneakers in, but when you open the lid, it lights up and you can stack the boxes. And I was like, who would buy that? And he's like, what? You don't know about the sneaker culture? At the time, I knew nothing about the sneaker culture. I might have had 4 pair of sneakers versus the 200 I have now. And he was just breaking it down to me. So I was like, what? He said, as a matter of fact, I'm working with some brothers and we're putting a sneaker convention together. Sneaker convention mean like you just go in the store. I had no clue. Long story short, I go to the sneaker convention and it's a giant gymnasium full of people selling sneakers. I'll never forget a pair of white Etonics that we paid $40 for back in the days was going for $30,000. And he looked at all these hustlers and brought them all together. Everybody had tables. I eventually had a table at one of his conventions. And all the people that were coming in with sneakers and trading sneakers and buying sneakers. He was like, look, man, this is going to be it. This is going to be the next big thing. You can buy them for the low and sell them for the high. And you can trade. You could get collector sneakers. You could get dead stock. He was schooling me the whole thing. And in my mind, I couldn't see the vision. But what I did feed into was his hunger and his passion and the fact that he was knowledgeable, that he had a proof of his concept, that he had contacted people in China and gave them the measurements and the dimensions and the drawings and how they were going to be manufactured. And what he needed that I did not have at the time was funding. Because I was busy investing in my own visions and my own desires and my own grandiose ideas. But what I should have done, this is the moral of the story, thanks for sticking around. What I should have done, in hindsight, is put mine to the side and said, look, I got X amount of dollars. What can we do with this? How can I partner up with you? So I could have kept the fire in him. He could have leaned on me. I could have validated his thoughts. He could have threw ideas back and forth. We could create a partnership in business. Sometimes you may have all the ideas and passions, But don't be like me and dismiss everybody else's ideas and passion because you're so locked in, myopic on this thing that you want to do. Because when I'm looking at how sneaker sales are now, when I'm looking at how a pair of Timberland boots is selling for $30,000, when I'm looking at how on TikTok every day there's hundreds of sellers trying to sell these sneaker boxes and the stackables and the accordions and all this stuff, this man was ahead of the game 15 years ago. He was on top of this 15 years ago, ready to do and sell what everybody's doing and trying to sell right now. I had the energy and the ambition and the intelligence to probably take his product to the next level, but I let it go by because I was focused on mine. Sometimes you could put what's on yours on standby, get equity in what somebody else is doing. Together, y'all make so much wealth that all your visions and ideas can manifest because you finally have the funding to do it. Long story short is when other people are bringing the greatest ideas to you, take the time to put some energy into it and see where it goes.